Schwartz says there are exactly 3 deadly mistakes when it comes to creatives, right? So, are you sure you got the right hook to catch people's attention? How about videos that are too long to watch? And then again, do you explain your product in a way that it works in advertising? Well, Lauren will explain how to deal with those issues and obviously how to do it better. So, the stage is yours, Lauren.
Hey everyone, my name is Lauren Schwartz. I am so excited to be here again for the 2nd year in a row at AdWorld. I am just so glad to be here, and today what I want to talk to you about is the 3 creative mistakes you must avoid when you are making your ad creatives. So to give you a little bit of background about myself, my name is Lauren Schwartz. I am a creative ad designer and creative strategist. I own my own company, the Loft 325, where I work with a handful of clients to create and design their ad strategies and ad design creatives. So I have a little over 15 years of experience in the e-commerce space, and my background relies heavily on design and strategy. So my kind of motto when I work with clients is that creative is key when you are working on Facebook and Instagram. And I teach entrepreneurs how to create dynamic ad creatives that convert. So, like I said, I've had, a little over 15 years of experience. I have worked with some very large budgets and some very large brands. And over the past 8 years, I've been able to really kind of hone in my creative strategy and my design skills to really help brands have effective creative that convert. And, over the past 8 years, Facebook has changed, Instagram has changed, and the platforms have all changed. So I've been able to adapt with the changing times and have really been able to adapt my creative strategies to really help brands focus on getting the click-through. So, I take a lot of my passions from being able to help creative teams and, in-house marketing teams and design teams to really help their strategy to build effective brands to get the click-through for prospecting, remarketing, you name it. I've, had my hand in it. Some of the brands I've worked with include Leaf, Shave, Dermatology, Feet Clothing, Peel phone cases, and outdoor living. So I have definitely worked with some very large brands, and I have learned a lot about creative and creative ad design, working with all of these brands. So let's dive in. I'm really excited to get started. So today what I will be discussing is the 3 mistakes that I have seen so many brands make in 2020 and the beginning of 2021, and just throughout my experience, working in ad creatives. So the 3 biggest mistakes that I've seen with brands, whether I haven't worked with you or I have worked with you and I just got my hand on your account. Mistake number 1 is not showing the product within the first 3 seconds, not having a great hook. What is your hook that you are trying to get these people to click on? How can you establish your hook? These are the things that I'm going to be talking about today to really help you when you are creating your ad designs. Number 2, captions and user-generated content. So you get a ton of user-generated content, but you don't add the captions. That is still a huge mistake that I am seeing so many brands make, and it's such an easy fix. And I just feel like so many brands really need to focus in on that and really get their user-generated content to be effective. And branded captions or captions are just so, so important. If you have these, influencers or customers talking about your product, but you don't have the sound on, you have no idea what they're saying. So I'm really going to dive into mistake number 2. And then mistake number 3, what is your product? Again, so many times I have seen so many brands not really explaining their product, really explaining the features and benefits. It's just not very clear what you're trying to say and the message you're trying to get across to your audience, and how you're trying to really showcase that product. So that is definitely mistake number 3. And, a lot of companies use these, big buzzwords, or they have a really good kind of social impact that they're trying to affect, which is great. But again, when you're trying to really, talk so much about the social impact, but you're not really showing the product of how to help with the social impact, that really doesn't help you out. So I'm really going to be diving into all of these mistakes. So your creative mistake number 1 is not showing your product within the first 3 seconds. So I have this great ad here. It's showing this couple hugging each other. There's some motion, but again, it's not really clear on what exactly it is they're selling me. So do you have a hook? And is your product in the hook? That, again, is a huge, huge, huge mistake. Again, this image is great. It's beautiful. It's shot really well. But again, I'm not really sure what they're trying to sell to me. What is the product? It's great photography, but again, I don't really understand what you're trying to sell me. And as I'm kind of scrolling through this feed, through my feed, it just looks like another image. So I'm just going to scroll right past you. So again, creative mistake number 1, what is your product? Not showing it in the first 3 seconds, not explaining anything about it. You can have this great photography, but again, you have no idea what it is. I actually had to look up this brand, and it's an app, and it teaches you how to create these amazing photos. But again, I would never know this from that ad. So always make sure that you're trying to showcase your product within the first 3 seconds. That could either be a shot on your phone where you're showing actually scrolling through, going through some of the tutorials in the class to really hone in on what this product is. So that is creative mistake number 1. So the creative fix for this, this is one of my clients, Verb, that I work with. And for them, again, the creative fix, the product is shown within the first 3 seconds. The product is front and center. It's very clear what it is. As you kind of go through, I'm just going to play the ad here. This ad is great because it, again, shows a product within the first 3 seconds. It asks you a question at the beginning. Need an afternoon pick-me-up? Why, yes, I do need an afternoon pick-me-up. And this energy bar is the perfect one for you. So it's generating a kind of question or a thought-provoking feeling. It's something that just really is trying to get that message across to your audience. So I definitely think, generating these sort of questions, making your audience think do I really need this product? Do I need this in my life? And how is this going to be affected? It doesn't have jitters. It's only 90 calories. It's just a great afternoon pick-me-up instead of a cup of coffee. And again, as I'm scrolling through the feed, this bright colored background is going to stop me as I'm scrolling. And it'll make me kind of stay on and figure out what exactly is this product. So again, this to me is a great creative fix. It has a hook. It shows the product within the first 3 seconds. And it gets the message across. So 15 seconds, clear and concise. So these are some other couple great examples for creative fixes. I think that these are great hooks. So for me, it's always a question. If you have some user-generated content, I think, telling people for the first ritual one, it's how this product has changed my life, basically. And again, you kind of want to figure out what that is, what this product is that has changed your life. So I'm going to play the first 3 seconds of this ritual one. So this was an everyday habit that she did to change her life that has made a big difference. So again, it's that hook that kind of draws you in, but then I really do like the way that they added the colors, they added the different fonts. They just really kind of posed this very broad kind of way of like how she's changing her life and what habits she's doing to change her life. And it is very attention grabbing because this girl, coming out of her bed, and it has these different talking points. So again, I think that that's a really great hook to use. And the second one is with Love Wellness, who I actually did work with a while back. And for this one, it's a great question. How much do you know about the vagina? Take the quiz. So this is just a still image, but it's bright. It poses a great question. It's a question that really is for their audience. They sell feminine women's products, multivitamins that help the women's body, helps everything about their body. And it really does pose this question for them of, what exactly do you need this product for? And what products can help with those different purposes? So again, these different sort of hooks are very important, along with the questions, the colored background, and showing the product in the first 3 seconds. So these are all things that I definitely think you can do as creative fixes when you are, working with your product. And again, if you're having a hard time figuring out, these sorts of questions, I don't necessarily think you always have to be so rigid in the things that you're doing. I think you can ask broad questions. I think you can make it fun. I mean, really at the end of the day, what you're trying to do for your audience is you're trying to draw them in and get them to know who you are as a brand. And I think that both Ritual and Verb and Love Wellness do such a great job of knowing who their customer is and really just drawing them in. So I just think that you sometimes as a brand owner need to step back away from what you're doing and sit down and just write all the fun things about your brand, maybe write all the questions that you have, pulling out those questions from reviews from clients or customers, really trying to figure out what your audience is wanting from your brand specifically. So the next one. So creative mistake number 2, no captions. So both of these ads I think are great. They do show the product in the first 3 seconds. They show people using the product, this great user-generated content, so great. But as you're scrolling through, I found these ads and say, what? I have no idea what they're talking about. There's no captions. They're just kind of rolling this red thing over their face. Don't really know what that is. And then there's this other guy talking about some product. But again, I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't even know what this product is. I've never even heard of it. So again, these are just 2 examples that I found where these ads could have been amazing. They have all the elements that you need in order to make a good creative, but they just missed one step. And again, I think that these are such big things and big areas that are so common with brands that I sometimes just want to be like, just get the consumer to click, and you just have to go one step further. So there are a lot of times when I hear designers, and I'm a designer, so I definitely know how we can get sometimes, but I do hear some designers that do say like, oh, well, adding the captions just hurts the design. Fire your designer and get a new designer, because at the end of the day, what are you trying to do? You're trying to sell the product. And if a designer can't figure out how to make a caption work, then get a new designer, because there is always a way to make a caption work in your design. I'm sorry, I'm saying it, but that's what needs to happen. Because really at the end of the day, you are getting user-generated content from all these people. You're getting it from influencers, you're getting it from customers. They are taking the time to send you this footage to have in your, ad account, to have on your websites, your landing pages. And if you're not taking that extra step to just add in some captions, then you're doing your brand and your product a huge disservice, because it's such an amazing thing to have people generate this content for you, and underutilizing it by not adding the captions is a huge miss in my opinion. And again, most people are scrolling through their feed with sound off. So if they see this product, but they don't see what's happening in it, they're gonna scroll right past you. So again, both of these ads, I think, have the formula to be an amazing ad, but they just miss that one step. And if you play the ads, these two women are talking about the product, how amazing it is. One woman is talking about how she's 69 years old or 68 years old, and this product has been such a game changer for her. And then the next one is this other guy talking about this product. He gives an amazing review, but again, nobody knows what that review is because there's no captions. So I definitely think that both of these could have been winning ads if their designer or their team would have just taken one step and went a little bit further and added the captions. So the creative fix, add captions or branded captions. So if you don't want to just go through and add all these captions, the best thing to do as a designer, if you're trying to just add in some quick call outs, that's all you have to do. You don't necessarily need to add in the crazy long paragraphs that these people are talking about. You can take quick snippets from your creative and just call out key features and key points from the user-generated content so that someone can actually understand, if they don't have sound on, what you were talking about in the ad. So this is an ad I created for Leaf Shave where, again, it shows the product within the first 3 seconds and I added captions. So let's take a look.
So the leaf razor is probably my favorite purchase ever. I never looked forward to shaving until I got one of these.
It literally glides over my skin and is surprisingly so easy to use. I can't believe I've ever gone this long without a leaf razor. My legs have never been this smooth.
If you want to take your self-care routine to the next level, get yourself a leaf razor and thank me later.
So, the biggest takeaway is now I know what you're saying. I added in those captions. It was really easy to do. As a designer, it's very, very easy to add in captions. It's not that difficult. I'm sorry. Again, I am a designer. I know how hard it can be sometimes to add the captions, but I'm going to say it. Captions, captions, captions. Always add something. Add a caption. You can make it work for your design. That is why you are the designer. That's why you hire design teams. That's why you hire people like me to figure out how they can add in these captions and still make the design look great, but still get your point across and still sell your product. So again, if the sound is off, I know what this person's talking about. They're talking about their razor. They're giving their great reviews. And ultimately, I don't need to have the sound on because I know exactly what they're talking about. This is another one that I did for my client Verb. So again, you can add in these fun captions. Let's take a look at this one.
So let me tell you guys why I love these Verb energy bars. I have one every single morning because not only are they caffeinated, but they're packed with green tea. And they're only 90 calories. You need to try these Verb energy bars. They're so good.
So again, you can have fun with your captions. You paid the influencer, you got them to shoot this, user-generated content for you. Now make the ad shine and make that influencer shine by showing what they're talking about, adding in some fun, different, kind of creative ways to call out what they are talking about. For this one, again, I added in the colorful boxes. I added in different sizes and fonts so that it really kind of grabs your attention as you're scrolling through the feed. And again, this was a quick testimonial. So again, I had the captions at the bottom. It was very clear what they were talking about. It wasn't intrusive to the ad. It was just very clear so that as you're scrolling through, you don't necessarily have to have your sound on. Again, it's simple, it's on brand, but it's just clear to your audience about what they are saying. So takeaway from this, always add captions. So creative mistake number 3. Not being clear what your product is. So I found this ad, and again, user-generated content, always great to have. But what are you selling me? Let's take a look. So, I mean, not a bad video, you know, again, we just need to take it a couple steps further. So the first thing is, what is she selling me? She shows a product in the beginning, but it's very hard to see, and I'm not quite sure what that product is. So it's great that you speed it up to kind of fit within that 15 seconds, but in some way, shape, or form, you need to show what that product is. Whether it's a split screen and you have the person, the user-generated content on one side and then your product on the left side, you can add in a bar at the bottom with your product on the bottom, something. We just need to know what exactly that product is. It needs to be clear and visible to your audience. So that, again, it's a mistake that, you know, this could have been a great ad, but we just need to take it a couple steps further. Second part is, again, what is she selling me? I am assuming it's something for pregnant bellies. I know it's a lotion, but again, I'm not really quite sure what exactly all these steps are. In this, we could have added in some value props. There could have been some product details, call outs of the benefits of using this product, how it helps this mom to feel better, how it helps her growing belly to feel better. You know, does it help with like itchiness or, you know, stretch marks, all that kind of stuff. Again, we could have taken a couple steps further and just really dove into what this product was actually talking about. And again, she shows a great how-to in this video. So for this, we could have also, again, taken another step further and added in how-to steps. What are the benefits? Step 1, this is how you apply the product. This is the benefit of applying the product. And then go down the list 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. This could have been a great kind of step-by-step process, showing the product, showing each step, explaining what it is, and just trying not to make it so confusing to your audience. So that's such a huge miss that I feel like so many companies do, and it's so easy to correct. So the creative fix for this is clear callouts, showing the product, and really making it clear to your audience. So I did this one for my client Han, and I like to call it the all-in-one creative. It shows the product in use, and it has UGC and captions. The product is being called out clearly. It's showing a close-up along with all the different color options. And in there, they do have an app that is featured. So show the app, show a part of the app, do a screen record. All of these are just great things to really have this kind of all-in-one creative. So let's take a look. So I'm so grateful. I just found this new product. It's called Han, and it is a pet detector. So inside of this rubber casing is a locator for your pet. The great thing about this pet detector is that it has a location device on it, and what it does is it connects to an app, and you add in your pet's information. You can put a picture on there, and what it does is it'll alert you if he gets away, and it'll show you the location of where he is located. But I'm so grateful that we found this because I don't ever want to lose my best friend. He's my best friend. Huh. Thank you, Han. So again, everything is very clear. It shows the product within the first 3 seconds. It shows a close-up of the product. It has user-generated content. It has captions, and it shows all the different value props of why you should purchase this product. So again, this is kind of what I like to call an all-in-one creative, and it's so easy to do, and it's so beneficial for your brand and your company. So in closing, don't rush, be creative. Our creatives are so important to have in your and rushing them to just get them out is a huge disservice to yourself. Again, the biggest mistakes that I see are not showing the product within the first 3 seconds, not having captions on your user-generated content, and not really explaining or really telling the value of what your product is and how it benefits someone's life. So I think the biggest thing to tell your creatives is to slow down, make sure you're being effective, and what is going to drive the click. Always make sure that you are just being very clear to your audience so that at the end of the day, you're going to get those purchases. So I just want to say thank you again, AdWorld, for having me here. My name is Lauren Schwartz. Again, I am an ad designer at the Loft 325. If you ever would like to contact me, my website is theloft325.com, and I am on Instagram at the Loft 325 and at Twitter at Loft 325. So thank you so much again for having me, and thank you very much.